Imagine 13 million people, more than the entire population of Portugal, all sitting down on the same 2 days to take the same exam. One test, one chance, your entire future on the line. Half a continent away, a different student wakes before sunrise in Seoul for what may be the longest, most consequential 8.5 hours of their life. China's Gaokao, South Korea's Suneung, 2 exams, 2 education systems pushed to their absolute limits. Today we go deeper than the headlines with the numbers that tell the real story. By the end of this video, you'll understand not just how brutal these exams are, but why millions of families keep paying for it year after year, generation after generation. The Gaokao is not just a 2-day test. It's the destination of a 12-year pipeline. Every lesson from elementary school, every homework assignment, every weekend tutoring session built toward this. China has approximately 2,914 universities, but they are not equal. The system is tiered into 4 levels. At the very top, the C9 League, just 9 universities that are China's equivalent of the Ivy League. Below that, 39 Project 985 schools, then 116 Project 211 universities, and beneath all of that, over 2,700 lower-tier institutions. But here's where it gets truly unjust. The acceptance rate is not uniform. It depends on where you were born. In Beijing, the first-tier university admission rate is 30.5%. In Henan, a province of 100 million people, it's only 9.48%. A Beijing student is statistically 30 times more likely to attend Tsinghua than someone from a rural province. Same exam, same score, different destiny. In Senior 3, the year of the Gaokao, students routinely study 14 to 16 hours a day. That is not an exaggeration. Motivational posters on classroom walls read, "You can sleep when you're dead." Schools sometimes install security cameras to prevent students from sleeping in class. This is the accepted norm. The pressure is so immense that cheating has become a national crisis. Between 2016 and 2021, Chinese courts prosecuted over 4,000 cases of Gaokao-related fraud, including instances of organized crime syndicates selling stolen exam answers for up to 300,000 yuan per student. Now let's talk about money, because the Gaokao is not just a test of intelligence, it's a test of how much your family can afford to invest. Nationally, the average Chinese family spends around 17,400 yuan, about $2,400 per year on tutoring. But in major cities like Beijing and Shanghai, wealthier families regularly spend 100,000 to 200,000 yuan. That's up to $28,000 across the high school years. For students taking the art track where separate skill exams are required, tutoring costs can exceed 130,000 yuan in a single year. For low-income families, this cost is devastating. On average, education expenses consume 17.1% of Chinese household income. But for families in the lowest income bracket, that figure reaches 56.8%. More than half of everything they earn spent in the hope that their child escapes poverty through a single test. Now to South Korea. If the Gaokao is a 12-year war of attrition, the Suneung is a single-day battle with no margin for error. On Suneung morning, the entire country reorganizes itself around approximately 500,000 teenagers. Unlike the Gaokao's points system, the Suneung scores you on a percentile rank of 1 to 9. Grade 1 means you're in the top 4% of all test takers. Grade 2, top 4 to 11%. Grade 3, top 11 to 23%. You need a sustained grade 1 across multiple subjects just to be in the conversation for a Sky University. South Korea has around 200 four-year universities, but all prestige is concentrated at the top 3: Seoul National University, Korea University, and Yonsei, collectively called Sky. Getting into a Sky school requires a grade 1 or grade 2 result. The acceptance rate for top programs at Seoul National University is under 5%. For the full Sky group, only 0.1 to 0.3% of Suneung takers succeed. Every year, the final mathematics question, called the killer question, is deliberately designed to be unsolvable by all but a tiny fraction of students. Its purpose is not to test knowledge. It is to separate rank 1 from rank 1,000. One wrong answer can push a student thousands of places down the national ranking, the difference between Sky and rejection. The Suneung also carries a cultural and quasi-religious weight found nowhere else in the world. Families hire shamans to pray for their child's score. On the morning of the exam, school seniors bow to the students taking the test. Strangers at bus stops wish test takers luck. The nation holds its breath. The financial toll of the Suneung is staggering. In 2024, the average Korean family spent 474,000 won, about $340 per month on private education per student. Among families actively using Hagwons, that rises to 592,000 won a month. For students retaking the exam at a full-time boarding cram school, the cost reaches 3.5 million won per month, approximately $2,500, which is roughly equal to the entire average monthly salary of a South Korean worker. Here's the cruelest irony. After all that sacrifice, all those late nights, all those Hagwon sessions, all those trillion-won investments, South Korea's degree-to-occupation match rate is only 36.8%. Nearly two-thirds of graduates work in fields unrelated to their degree. The pressure is real, the payoff for most is not. Let's put them side by side. The Gaokao operates at a scale 26 times larger than the Suneung. It spreads pressure over 12 years. The Suneung concentrates it into a single day. Both cost families enormous sums, but Korea's per-student tutoring spend is higher in absolute terms. Both damage mental health, but they do it differently. Which is more brutal? The answer depends on what you measure. If brutality is scale and systemic inequality, Gaokao wins and it's not close. If brutality is pressure concentration and zero margin for error in a single sitting, that's the Suneung. Both governments know this is a problem. China's 2021 double reduction policy wiped out 115,000 tutoring companies, reducing them from 124,000 to under 9,000. Korea has debated eliminating the killer question entirely, and in 2023, the government promised to normalize the exam. Progress has been slow. But here is what the data cannot fully capture. Behind every one of those 13.42 million Chinese students and every one of those 500,000 South Koreans is a family that mortgaged its future on a number, a child who gave up sleep, weekends, and childhood. A society that decided a single test was the fairest measure of human potential. The numbers say they're wrong. If this analysis changed how you see these exams, subscribe for more data-driven deep dives into the systems that shape our world. And if you're a student facing your own high-stakes exam right now, the number does not define you.